Graham, we welcome Haley Fisackerly, President and CEO of Entergy Mississippi. Good to see you, Haley.
Good to see you, Gerard. Thank you so much for having us in.
Well, we appreciate you coming in. I know it's been a tough few days. You and I were just talking off the air. Really unusual weather pattern and circumstances for the state of Mississippi, and lots of power knocked out as a result of that. Give us the latest.
Yep, Gerard, this is definitely a unique situation. We've been in this business 100 years, and we saw a weather phenomenon we've never seen before, where we had thunderstorm after thunderstorm, five thunderstorms that hit us over a course of 7 days. And it was frustrating, but they were unusual, severe thunderstorms. We typically see a thunderstorm come in. We're going to have high winds and heavy rain, get it through, put everybody back on. But we saw 80-plus mile-per-hour winds, tornadoes, reports of softball-sized hail, all types of events, and lightning that created a tremendous amount of damage, too. So the challenge when those come in like that, in repetition like that, when we have a storm hit, we assess, we quickly get essential services back on, hospitals, police stations, fire stations, water treatment, communication systems, and then go after the circuits and lines that get the most people on. So, and we get to work right away. A lot of times it's closing a breaker or a fuse. But as we're doing those assessments, we're getting hit again. It's like you're attacking something, you're getting hit from the flanks, and that's disruptive. We can't put trucks in the air with winds over 30 miles per hour or in lightning. Now, they can work in rain, but that disrupts the process. And as it grew, we had to get more crews in. And this event was more than Mississippi. I don't know if you saw the reports, but SWEPCO Energy in Northwest Louisiana had over 200,000 customers out as of yesterday. Wow. It went into Texas. AEP had 500,000 customers out. So the utilities are brotherhood. We help each other out. And they couldn't release crews. And it was a path going east, and the utilities to our east like, well, we need to hold tight too. But we did a great job of amassing 2,300 workers. We have another 100 showing up as I speak right now, and we made progress. And since June 10th, we have restored power to 230,000 customers. We serve 460,000 customers. So this hit 34 of the 45 counties that we serve in the state. So it had us spread out, too. So it's been a big challenge. Our guys are working hard. It's in tough conditions, this heat, but we're making progress. I know customers are frustrated. I would be, too. It's 5 days without power in this heat. We had some challenges with communicating restoration times to customers because of the disruptions and the repetitive storms that make it hard to get to a static state to do that. So definitely been one we're going to learn a lot of lessons from, but we are focused, and we hope to wrap up most of it today. We'll have a few carry over to tomorrow.
I'm sure you're aware that Public Service Commissioner Brent Bailey issued a press release where he expressed frustration, as he calls it, with Entergy on their response, and he said the delay in restoring power has caused significant hardships for their customers. It's unacceptable. We expect EML to take swift action to address this issue and ensure that our communities are not left in the dark for prolonged periods of time in the aftermath of future severe weather events. So what do you say to that, Haley?
Well, I understand he's getting a lot of calls. He's getting, just like I am,
sure.
too. People are frustrated.
Sure. Yep.
And he's a regulator. He has to look at us. So we're going to get through this, get everybody back on, and we will look forward to engaging with him and sharing what we learned. But also want them to see this was unique. We have never seen this. At a series of storms at 80 miles per hour, this is like getting hit by a Category 1 hurricane, one after another. Yeah. And it's something we've never seen before.
Have there been situations where you've restored power and then storm came through and knocked the same areas out?
I know, and I'm very, the worst, if you look at the gap, kind of the Hines-Madison area right through there was the worst area. And we had situations where customers saw multiple outages, and I know that's frustrating. It would be different reasons. One was a broken pole, and he had to get back up. We had situations where brand new poles were put back in place, and large trees in some of these old beautiful neighborhoods came right back down on the same pole. And in that case, didn't break the pole, maybe knocked the wires down or something, but So that did tell you, those had to come back and get back to those when they went through the process. So it's a frustrating process, I know.
So if the average person looked at the org chart of the company, of Entergy, and looked at the staffing model, I'm going to assume you have some staff that maybe are responsible for new construction, and you have sort of an org there when you're out provisioning new electrical connections.
Right.
And that may involve everything from putting up poles and pulling wire all the way into the final mile to the address that you're going to service. And then maybe you have staff, and I'm just, this is kind of the way I would think it would work, and then I'm going to ask you to tell me what the truth is, but staff that are responsible for repairing.
That's right.
And correcting issues of existing systems when they fail. So my question is, I got to believe you staff for certain expectations. Is it fair to say maybe this exceeded your staffing model is what caught you off guard?
Well, you can never staff.
It's impossible.
Impossible for the worst bit. So that's why we have contract partners.
Sure.
I call them partners.
Sure.
The term we use are baseload contractors.
Okay.
They are committed to us.
Okay.
They are a member of the team. They may not wear the Entergy hat. They're B&B.
I see them around town.
Chain.
Yeah.
Great. Good Mississippi form companies. Great people. And but we had to provide reliable service, safe, but also had to be affordable. So talk about construction. It is intermittent. You don't ever know. So
absolutely.
We fill that in with construction because when that job's done, you let them go, right?
Yeah, sure.
So we staff around what we call reliability. I have a vice president reliability.
Okay.
And those are your servicemen, those are your troublemen, those are your journeymen, those are your first-class linemen and stuff, and they focus on reliability.
Okay.
They can do construction and stuff of that nature. But that partnership, I think one of the biggest things that has improved and changed over time is the robustness of the contract market that really didn't exist before. And it gives utilities like Entergy that flexibility to ramp up, ramp down.
Sure.
And in storm events, where customers win is I didn't have to keep that 2,300 workforce on payroll. Yeah. We pay them when they come in and stuff of that nature. And so just like any business today,
absolutely,
in our industry, our economy today, people find areas where they can become the expert in, and then they contract out. And it's a win-win for us all.
Yeah, it makes total sense. But it feels like, given kind of the compressed time period that such destruction occurred, that outstripped your resources, including your partners.
Exactly.
Is that fair to say?
All around us, everybody got impacted. So one thing about Entergy, we're part of a multi-state holding company. So we have sister companies in Arkansas, Louisiana, New Orleans, Texas, and we can help each other. Well, they got frozen in place. Now, the worst part was when it crossed the Mississippi River into Mississippi. Okay. But soon they got theirs on. They loaned some resources to us. Okay. And they're baseload contractors, too, which are a different group. And that helps of that nature. But, we're all dealing with workforce challenges today. And so that's why I'm so glad to have these contract partners because they can help us as we're trying to fill vacancies. We just graduated a large boot camp, for example, recently out of our center up in Clinton. And so they're coming into the workforce, and we got another one going in. So we try to staff as quickly as we can, but not as many people want to be linemen as they used to be.
I understand. So, and that's true for the contractors as well.
That's right.
I mean, they're trying to seek talent from the same pool.
And we're working with community colleges on lineman programs and things of that nature, producing really great candidates. They do outstanding work, and the tools they get to work with today are much different than the past. And so a lot of technology changes and stuff. And one of the things that, then a good consequence out of this, if I found one, is when we rebuild, though, technology is showing us new standards. We're going to better class poles. Okay. Conduit is improving where it's stronger but lighter. Okay. So that helps with line weight and things of that nature. Cross arms are made of materials that can bend and not break. And so the technology is constantly changing the tools and things we work with. So the stuff we're going back in the field will be more robust, or the term we say, more resilient.
Okay. Yeah. Before you go, has this been a learning experience? Do you see things that you're going to improve on, and you'll report that to Brent?
You know this better than everything. You don't get better unless you can always learn. And so when this is over, we'll go through a lessons learned process.
No doubt. Yeah. All right, appreciate you coming in, Haley, and giving us an update on that. And sounds like, when do you expect we'll have full restoration?
We'll have almost everybody back on tonight. We're going to have about 1,000 or less in like rural areas and maybe hard to reach. There's some really damaged areas where we have to get track equipment. This is called the onesie-twosies. We get one pole up, one customer on. And
I got you. I got you. I understand. Yep. Appreciate it, Haley. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Gerard. Appreciate
Haley Fisackerly, President and CEO of Entergy Mississippi, has been our guest on Middays. We're coming right back.